Good afternoon, everybody. What is going on? I am jeffgrantMEDIA, and it has been a while since I have sat down in front of this camera to do a review with you. And there's two reasons to that. Firstly, I got a little burned out. I kind of do this for a living. Not review backpacks. I'm a corporate videographer, and I do a lot of training videos. So I got a little bit burned out and I needed to take a break. And secondly, and probably the bigger reason I have not actually done a review in a while is because I have been using this bag pretty much since I got it for the past like 3 months or so, and I have not switched out to another bag because I love this pack. Yeah, I like legit have not used another pack in the past 3 months. So today's real user review is on the Alpha 19er BO Gear Spare Camel 2.0 collaboration prototype bag. So how did I get this prototype bag? Why do I have this prototype bag? Well, I am not a beta tester. I did not test out this bag for Alpha 19er or BO Gear. I simply made a half-assed joke on Dave's BO Gear Instagram page when he was doing the updates on the collab, and I kind of just said, "Hey Dave, what are you gonna be doing with all those samples that you've got?" And he private messaged me and put me in touch with a gentleman that he gifted this bag to, so I ended up purchasing this bag with my own money, and he shipped it to me from Australia. So this bag went from Singapore to Australia, got beta tested by Dave Bell himself, then was gifted, and then I bought it and got sent to me. So this went from Australia into my hands, and I'm just tell you right off the bat, I'm in love with this pack, as you can already tell, I'm sure, because I've been using nothing but this for 3 months. Why am I so in love with this pack, and why did I buy a prototype of it instead of the actual production model that is now on pre-order? And that's because my holy grail is my BO Gear Spare Camel 1.0, the OG, the original BO Gear. You can see side by side, I have my original made in Australia by BO Gear, and then this is the collab made by Alpha 19er. So if you're looking at the front of these bags, one thing you're going to notice right off the bat is the OG has webbing, the prototype has webbing, and the production model has laser cut pals on it. I'm going to get into the differences a little bit later on in the video, but I prefer the webbing. I like the aesthetic of the webbing better than the laser cut, and I also find the webbing far more functional than the laser cut. You can do things like put a carabiner through it much easier than you can with the laser cut. The laser cut, I find that you have to fish through with your fingers. It's just more difficult to hang stuff on. It's totally usable, so don't get me wrong, and I know a lot of people love it. They love the aesthetic of it. It is a cleaner look, but I do like the, I guess, the more tactical look of the webbing as opposed to the laser cut pals. So that was one of the big draws when this was actually available for me to get, was that this prototype actually has the webbing on it, whereas the production version has the laser cut pals. There are some other differences. The straps on the Proto are not removable, where on the production they are. The zipper for the laptop compartment, it is only a half zip, where on the production it is a full clamshell. Inside the admin panel is different than it is on the production. Again, I'll get into all of that, but I'm just getting pretty excited and ahead of myself. So we're gonna go ahead and get into the real user review. And as always, we're gonna start with the negatives, neutral points, and end on the positives. And the biggest and honestly only negative that I'm finding with this bag is you cannot buy this bag. The samples are not available for purchase. It is just dumb luck that I was able to actually get this bag. Now, I do comment on the random updates that Dave had been doing about BO Gear, and I have mentioned that I had bought a bag. Actually, I have two BO Gear bags. I have my very first bag, which was the Syndrome, which is a messenger bag, and then I have my custom Spare Camel. Both of my bags were custom from them. I did mention this several times, so I think maybe Dave recognized the username, and again, sheer dumb luck that I was able to purchase this bag. It had nothing to do with my connection to the perfect pack. It just happened to be one of those random situations that I found out after the fact. So yeah, you can't buy this bag, and I do prefer the prototype over the production version for a couple of reasons. Mainly, I like the aesthetic of it. I like that it's a 500D Cordura as opposed to the 500D facing with it's an X50 tactical, or it's an X. I have it in my notes. It is a Polyant X50 Tactical Squadron, Brookwood Squadron fabric. That is what the production version is made out of, where this is a 500D to cut on costs for shape, design, layout of the bag. So I like the materials a little bit better than this. I do like you know, laminate materials, but honestly, I'm a Cordura guy. I like an old school Cordura clamshell backpack, and that's essentially what this is with the PALS webbing. So the biggest negative is you cannot get this bag. The production version, if I had the scratch around, I would definitely also buy the production version, but I don't. The money I had saved for the production version, I spent on the prototype, and it's the best decision for me. For me personally, this was the better decision. It was a no-brainer. Also, I have another unicorn. I've got a rare bag that's pretty damn near impossible to find. So I got pretty much my dream bag. We're gonna get into that in the positives, why I'm very stoked on this version of the bag. Get a little bit more into that, but again, I'm so excited about this bag. I'm just rambling, and I apologize for that. Now we're gonna go ahead and move into the neutrals, and there's only a couple. The biggest one for me, and it's not a negative by any means, but the bag, the Spare Camel, is 30 liters. So the Spare Camel was the big brother to the Bullpup, which I believe was 20 or 25 liters. I wanna say the Bullpup was like 20 liters. So a 30-liter pack. I have found my personal sweet spot to be in the like mid to low 20s liter range for an EDC pack. So the neutral point is with this bag, I end up carrying extra junk. Actually, this morning, I knew I was gonna be filming this tonight. I had to empty out the bag of all the extra stuff that I was lugging around, because when I open this later, I didn't want all this extra junk to spill out. So when the neutral point is, it is a 30-liter pack, so I feel like that, for me at least, it's bigger on the EDC side. I have used my original hiking a lot. I did hike in this bag a lot. You might not know it because it's still super bright, even though this bag's like, I think it's 10 or more years old. I think I got it circa 2009. Maybe that was my Syndrome. This is a little newer than the Syndrome, but this bag is close to 10 years old, if not 10 years old, and I did a lot of hiking with this. So 30 liters as a hiking pack, it was great. 30 liters as an EDC, I feel like it's a little big, but it's not too big because obviously I've been using this nonstop for 3 months. Nextly, we have this laptop sleeve that is a half zip. On the production version, it's a full clamshell. On the prototype, it's a half zip. But honestly, I don't mind this being a half zip bag. Personally, I only ever actually half zip it and pull my laptop in and out of the bag anyway. So if I was to be EDCing this, even if it was a full clamshell, I would only be unzipping it halfway so I can pull the laptop in and out. I don't generally do the full clamshell. So neutral point, if that's not for you, I mean, the laptop sleeve there's also a lot more organization inside the production version, which I kind of wish I had a little bit more in here, a little bit more of an admin panel, where this one does not have the admin panel in it. On the front of the bag here, on the production version, there's actually a Velcro removable admin panel that you can pull off and put in anything you want here. And then there's also a magnetic tablet sleeve on front of the laptop sleeve. So there's a securement strap, and then there's a securement strap that doubles down to do a tablet sleeve. So, I mean, I've been just throwing my laptop in here and throwing my tablet in the front here, and I have been okay. I still have, oh, look at that. That's my charging cables for my tablet, which I just took out of here. But I only have 2 front sleeves and then the one big laptop sleeve on the back. And then there is a gap in the middle, so I do have space to stick stuff, where the production version is definitely gonna have a lot more organization right here. And lastly, there is no hidden pocket on the 2.0, where, I'm not gonna tell you where it is, but on the originals, there's a hidden pocket on this bag. Now, I did use it when I traveled a little bit, but I don't use it on an EDC, so honestly, it's not by any means a deal breaker, but it's just cool that the originals have a hidden pocket where the new production and this prototype do not have the hidden pocket. At least I don't know if the production has the hidden pocket. I didn't see anything about it, and also there's none on the market yet. Even the samples that are floating out there have slightly changed. I believe they changed the shoulder straps. Actually, if you want to go to the BO Gear YouTube channel, Dave just did a rundown, a walkthrough of the 2.0. That was almost the production, but they ceased it, pushed it back, and they changed the shoulder straps. So I don't know, maybe in the production there's going to be a hidden pocket. On my Proto, there is not. So there you have it, my neutrals and my negative points. So now the positives, and I'm going to try my hardest to keep it as brief as possible, but I know I'm going to ramble because I love this pack. I'm so excited for it. So this is essentially my perfect pack. Maybe a little bit bigger than the leaders, maybe if it was like a Spare Camel Bullpup hybrid, because again, I think the Bullpup was 20, this is 30. I would like something maybe in the middle, like a 25 liter. But once I got my very first GR1, I realized that the laptop sleeve on the back of the bag was awesome. I absolutely loved the laptop sleeve in the back of the bag. And the original does not have the laptop sleeve. So what I always did, it wasn't a big problem, but what I did was I just took a laptop sleeve, I just would slide it right inside the water bladder sleeve, and I left the top unzipped, so I would just slide my laptop in and out, and then I would generally, if I'm getting my laptop in, I wouldn't clamshell the whole bag, I would half zip it, and then from the top down, I could easily access my laptop in and out. It was protected because I had it inside a padded laptop sleeve inside my bag, but I put it inside the water bladder sleeve. And that was fine, completely worked for me, did that for years and years and years, multiple laptops, every laptop I put in your fit. That's one of the good things about not having the dedicated laptop sleeve, is that you're not restrained or constricted, because a lot of the newer bags with laptop sleeves, the dedicated ones, especially ones on the outside, entry from the back, they're generally made for like 15, some of them are made big enough because of the new 17-inch MacBook Pros, but they're made for thin, small computers. So in case point, my old computer was a Dell Inspiron something, like a gaming laptop. It was big, it was thick, it was fat. It does not fit in a lot of the bags I have today. This bag, it fit no problem because I just put it in this pleated water bladder sleeve that had plenty of room inside this laptop case that also is quite oversized. I think this I bought for an old, like a 15-inch Sony Vaio laptop that I had years and years and years ago, so it was made for bigger laptops. So I never had a problem fitting a laptop in here. Now, I do have my 2016 MacBook Pro that is slightly dying, but it fits inside this laptop sleeve, no problem. But the rear entry laptop sleeve is one of my absolute favorite features of this bag. Honestly, that was a selling point alone, because the Spare Camel, again, is like my holy grail, my favorite backpack. My one of my two that I will never sell, the other being my other BO Gear bag. But I always thought I would love to have laptop access, like a dedicated laptop place. And after having the GR1, I loved that rear entry laptop sleeve, and that's essentially what I have here. And the GR1 is like a 3/4 where it starts in the top corner of the bag and unzips almost to the bottom corner, so it would peel open like this, so you give it a little bit more access, but the half clamshell, half zip is perfect for me. So I essentially got my Spare Camel in a tamer colorway because I do work in an office building, so this could be a bit bright, a bit distractive. So I have my tamer colorway, which I kind of always wished I had a second one of those in a solid black, but I got in a gray with a laptop sleeve. So I have that with my dedicated laptop sleeve. And I can still fit my tablet and everything in here, no problem. And I have my regular admin access. But let's get into the rest of the bag. We'll start with the outside of the bag. We have, again, my favorite, the webbing, the actual strap webbing, not the laser cut pals. I can fit anything I want on here. I got my extra accessory strap, I got some carabiners, I got an O-light on here that I can just strap on, and I can tuck it into the webbing. I don't have it on here, but I clip my work ID to the front of the bag, so it's always there. I can grab it. We have 2 pockets, one little bit deeper bag where I keep battery bank, first aid kit, 2 things that I like to have quick access to, especially when you got a tot. You want to have this first aid kit readily accessible at all times. You never know when you're gonna need a princess band-aid. So I keep them in this pocket up front that is a bit pleated. I guess pleated is the wrong word. It's not pleated, but it is 3-dimensional. It has a little bit of its own space, so it does expand out from the bag. So if you do put a lot of bulky items, it will push into the bag, but it does have its own space, so it's not gonna be always pushing into the bag, which I hate when a bag is just a flat pocket and then it shares the space with the inside of the bag, and then you totally lose a lot of space and organization. When you pull something out from the inside, then the front of the bag is gonna push in, and then it's almost impossible to put anything back in smoothly. You have to readjust the whole bag. But not the case with the Alpha 19er BO Gear Spare Camel 2.0. Also, with the OG, it's like this as well. Then we have an additional pocket that's kind of tucked away. You almost don't see it because it's underneath all of this PAL's webbing, or underneath this Velcro strip here. So in here we just keep, it's getting that time of the year where my hands get dry all the time, so I'm keeping some hand lotion because these things get cracked and they peel and it hurts. And we have one of my Green Room 136 pocketbook slims that has, this is my, I used to have business cards in here. I did give some out recently. I guess I gave away all my business cards, so I usually keep some extra business cards in here and some other cards I don't like to keep in my wallet because I always have this in my bag. So the business cards is basically, this one's my business card holder. This one is my VX41 version, my Eco Pack. I think it's inside the bag a little bit more. I dropped my hand lotion. And that's all I have in here now. I generally would keep a pocket knife in here, but I think I used it and it's sitting on my desk at work. So put my stuff back in here because I'm definitely gonna need to put some of that lotion on. My hands are very dry and very chapped. But then we go to the inside of the bag here, where we have all of my junk. Now, we have our 3 pockets that are identical to the OG, all pleated. I believe, at least on the production version, this has a bit of a stretch to it. I don't think mine has much of a stretch. They probably did that to save on costs for these production versions. But one of my pockets I love the most is this tiny little zipper pocket on the top. It's a perfect quick access pocket. I like to keep a pen in there. You can access that by only slightly unzipping the bag and you can grab it. It's a pretty small pocket, but I usually actually access this quite a bit, and I do that by just unzipping the bag slightly and I can get in and out of it. And I really, really like this little pocket. The inside of this bag is essentially the same as the production version, except it's a ripstop nylon instead of the VX Blaze Orange. So inside we have the addition of these accessory loops on both sides, as well as our 3 original water bladder hanger hooks. And what these tabs are for is Alpha 19er has an accessory that you can put in here that will attach to these points here, and it will with G hooks, and one side is Velcro, so you can put additional pockets, patches, anything you want on it, and the other side is PALs, so you can strap stuff to this, so you can actually organize the interior of your bag a little bit more. The downside with that is it generally makes this back pocket a little bit tight, and I wasn't able to use it as much because I've been sticking a few things back here, some of my lay flats, but it does take up some of the space. So I felt like, for me anyways, I liked the organization of it, but it just wasn't working for the way I liked to lay my bag out, because it didn't allow me to really fill this all the way out and organize the main body of the bag a little bit better. Because then I also have my toolkit, my almost used up notebook, but I got some other stuff in here. I got some photographs in here that I like to look at. Don't always keep everything on my cell phone. My Garage Built Gear admin panel. I love this thing. This is in every bag with me, but then I can kind of just lay all my stuff in here. And then I have, essentially I have this top room here that is where I throw like all my extra junk. I'll throw my tech kit across the top here. So when I have my laptop, I throw my tech kit in here, throw my tablet, my laptop in the back. And then even with all this stuff, zipped up, this bag has so much room. So much room left in it. You can see it's almost barely full at all. So comfort wise, this thing, I know they changed the straps on the production version, but for me, the straps on this bag have been perfect. I've had no issues. They're not super thick, but they have enough padding. They're pliable where they conform to the body really well. I did not find them to be uncomfortable even under a load. And again, with this bag being a 30-liter pack, I have been carrying a whole lot of extra crap that I don't generally carry. It fills up and it stays in the bag when you have the space, which is why I've been carrying mid-20s to lower 20-liter packs as my EDC. So, I mean, I have been using the hell out of this bag. You can see, even have, I don't know if you can see it, there's some candle wax on there, some blood candle wax from Halloween got on the bag. So even though this is a prototype that I will in no way, shape, or form ever to be able to replace, I have not been treating this thing gently. I have been using and abusing this thing, throwing it around, wearing it, and I guess I haven't thrown it down a flight of steps, or it didn't slide down a hill in Ithaca, New York, like another BO Gear bag did. But I mean, this does not look like it slid down a huge hill, like us on the side of a waterfall. It didn't fall down the waterfall. The trail next to it, which was quite steep, this fell mostly down it, and you'd never know. But it still looks and fares really, really well. The back panel has been comfortable. It's these two thick padded air mesh with a channel down the back. Now, I got this in, I believe, August or so it was still quite warm when I was wearing this, and I didn't have any issues. And I don't lie, I'm a sweater. I sweat a lot, and I did not find that I was sweating excessively or really any more than I normally would with any normal pack that I'm carrying. So the way that these bump outs worked, they actually worked really well. I didn't find, I felt comfortable and even in the heat, and I'm still finding it comfortable with the different jacket combinations that I'm wearing now, because it's November here in northeastern Pennsylvania, and it's been like 70 degrees the past week, but the week before it was like in the like mid 50s, and it was down in the high 20s at night and into the early morning. So I was going to work with heavy jackets and then coming back with maybe a sweatshirt or just my button down from work. So it's very, very crazy here temperature wise. I've been wearing this with a lot of different combinations of jackets and shirts and whatnot, and it's been comfortable in every one of those situations. But the overall fit, feel, and finish of the bag, it's been great. I love it. It's so comfortable for me to wear. It's almost exactly what I want. In this type of bag, it's pretty much this prototype without them realizing that they built almost my dream bag. I would love to have this with a little bit smaller, maybe like a 25, 26 liter pack, just a few less liters. And really the only reason is because, again, I carry extra crap. If I have the space, it goes in the bag, and then it generally doesn't come out. So with a smaller pack, I'd be carrying less stuff. And I'm in my 40s now, early 40s, but I'm in my 40s. The back, it's not what it used to be. Aging is a real thing. So when I'm carrying more weight, the back doesn't feel quite as good as it used to. But it felt great. I honestly wouldn't change much about it. Maybe the only thing I would change would, I might make the lashing straps, the removable versions that are on the production version, because I don't usually use them as compression straps. I usually slack them off even if I'm using them. I will use these, like on my OG, I strapped my water bladder or water bottles, because I don't really use water bladders. I usually, when I'm hiking, I'll use water bottles. I used to use Nalgene's a lot. So I would take the bottom one to strap the Nalgene bottle to the bag, and then I would cinch this down so it wouldn't sway, and then I would essentially just put the top one in here and cinch that down and hook the carabiner on here so I wouldn't lose it. So the bottom strap would generally keep the Nalgene against the bag, and then the top one would keep it from sliding out. So that's generally how I use the lashing straps on my original BO Gear bag, but usually they're just popped open. So I would like maybe the ability to remove these if I'm not using them, but I'm so used to my original bag and basically every bag that I've ever had, the compression straps are not removable, so with them just dangling here on the side, it doesn't really bother me. But honestly, that would be the only thing I would change. I love this bag. The fit, the feel, it's great. This is honestly, it's the first bag I've ever had from Alpha 1.9er. I was gonna get an Evade 1.5 a while ago and I never pulled the trigger on it. I got offered a different pack for a killer deal and ended up not buying the Alpha 1.9er and buying a mystery wrench bag because I just got such a great deal on the bag. But this is it. I love this bag. I've been using it for 3 months or more nonstop. I have not switched out to anything else. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a couple more of these prototypes floating around. I mean, if you see one for sale, I'd say grab it. You're not gonna have another chance to get one. But the only negative is you can't get one unless you get super incredibly lucky and you get to Hellman. He's gonna sell one of his samples, or Dave or have an extra one laying around that they're not telling anyone about, and they're looking to make a couple bucks or just let it loose into the wild. Because he said this was just gonna be a closet queen for him. He was gifted it from Dave, and it was just gonna sit in his closet and never use. So yeah, I had to pay to get it shipped to me from Australia, but I have been using it nonstop since I got it. So this is by no means a closet queen of a bag. Now, if you want to end the video there, I thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Smash that bigger button, ring the bell right next to the notification next time I post a brand new video. Good night. But I'm going to try to run through a few of the comparisons between the prototype and the production version of the bag real quick. So I paid $300 USD for the prototype, and the production was running $295 right now. Both of the bags are a 30-liter pack. The Proto is a 500D bag with actual webbing, where the production is a Dimension Polyant X50 Tactical Squadron fabric with laser cut pals from Brookwood. I believe I misspoke earlier and called the Laminate X50 from Brookwood, where that's with the pals layer, which is also, I learned this today from watching Dave's video, a 500D laminate where they're actually taking two 500D layers and gluing them together and then laser cutting the pals into them. So that sounds really cool, but again, I think the functionality of the actual webbing is better for me. The laptop area on the prototype is a half zip, where on the production it is a full clamshell. Also, the production version has a Velcro removal admin panel, as well as a laptop and tablet combination on the back of the bag. The interior on the production version is a high-vis orange, where my prototype is just a gray ripstop nylon. And as you can see, I have a high-vis red on my OG. The compression straps on the prototype are not removable, and on the production version they are both removable, and there is a second set of tabs where you can see mine as sewn in front of the laptop sleeve, where the production will actually have a second tab behind it, so you can either compress the whole bag or just the front of the bag. And this is because Dave Bell, the owner, well, ex-owner of VO Gear, since they're defunct, I guess technically, he does not like the laptop sleeve compacted, where Helmy liked to have the whole bag compacted, so they put tabs on both the front and back of the laptop compartment so you can accommodate whomever, whichever way you personally prefer to carry it. Personally, I like it the way this is set up, where the strap is in front of the laptop sleeve, because I don't want to push the laptop into the bag if I can avoid it. And one noticeable difference between the original and both the Proto and the production version is there is no zipper flap. These are, I believe, the reverse coiled zippers, so you don't actually see the teeth, where you can see the teeth on the old original versions, but there is a storm flap that covers them. Personally, I like the storm flap. I like it especially if you get caught in the rain. It helps keep the rain off the zippers, but when they're reverse coiled, it's not as big of an issue. They're not aqua guards, so I would not want to get caught in a downpour, but neither are they on the original, so same thing, I wouldn't really want to get caught in a downpour. I think I still have an old rainfly inside my original, because I did hike with that quite a bit, so I had a rainfly, or still have the rainfly in the bag, so I had that on hand in case I got caught in the rain, which I have been while out hiking in that pack. But off the top of my head, I know there's definitely more differences between my Proto and the production, but those are the most standoutable differences between the two bags. And yeah, I'm much more stoked that I got a much rarer bag, and this is closer to what I actually wanted out of a BO Gear bag, but didn't get because they had to close up shop. But my dream bag has essentially been built for me without them even knowing it. And with that, if you like this video or any of my other videos, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Smash that big red button and ring that bell right next to it so you get notifications next time I post a brand new video. Good night.